So, how many chances do you get each year to get your garden correct? And the old saying goes, for each year there's a growing season, you get one shot and you learn exactly what you should have done. And I've heard it said, gosh, I wish I would have started sooner. I would have had more chances to perfect this and get it better. Barring drought or a hailstorm or high winds that might destroy a crop, you get that year and you only get that chance. And whatever you learn that year, then you can apply it again the next year. And while that idea absolutely is true for big, large monocrops in the Midwest, California, Texas, wherever these big, large farms that do corn or soybean or large areas of onions, that may be true. They may have one monocrop, one single crop, 1,000 acres. They've got one shot that year to get it correct. There may be a couple of instances where they're doing a spring and then into a fall crop of something different, but they don't get a lot of chances. If something goes wrong, that crop may be ruined and it may be not enough time to replant. Sometimes they get lucky and they do. But in this smaller environment, like this market garden, or in a smaller backyard garden, or even if you're planting into planter boxes or containers in an apartment complex on your back porch, I contend you get multiple chances in a year to get things correct. And so let's talk about exactly what that means. So in the monocropping scenario, you get one shot in a year if everything goes correctly, and next year you have to apply that knowledge to that crop. In this smaller setting of a garden, like here at Whirlwind Family Farm, there's multiple different vegetables, plants that we grow, and you get multiple seasons within that year to grow. So somebody who's just starting out, you get lots of chances to be able to try something different. And I'll tell you exactly what I mean. In the United States, and I've talked about this many times, there are multiple levels of zones. If you're up near the Canadian border, that's zone 4. The growing season is much shorter. The last frost, the first frost, those are closer together. Those are bookends and you only get a certain amount of growing time. If you're down in this area where I'm at, I'm zone 8. My first frost is around November and my last frost is around April 1st. So I get a bigger window of time to grow things. So within that window, spring, summer, fall, winter, there's opportunities to grow different things, and those can overlap. You can have summer products such as squash that I plant in early spring that we're still harvesting off of here in September. And the same thing holds true with tomatoes. I have indeterminate tomatoes that I planted back in March that I'm still harvesting off of right now, especially cherry tomatoes. But there's other things that come and go. There are the salads, as I call them, the lettuces, the little small head or head lettuce is going to be one harvest and it's done. But Swiss chard, spinach, onions, carrots, those type things are going to be a little bit more leaning towards the cooler time of year, so spring and fall. And I will contend in some of these zones, especially here 8, south of me down towards San Antonio, South Texas, they go into zone 9. They can actually have a fairly long crop that's going all the way into wintertime. And I will tell you, things such as radishes or turnips, we have had success with all the way into late January. So we're literally almost getting 4 seasons of growth here at Whirlwind Family Farm. And I'll tell you another season that people don't think about, and that's microgreens. There's not a lot of food that comes off microgreens, but they can be grown in a basement. They can be grown out in an enclosed back porch someplace with growing lights through the winter. So you literally, in some areas in the United States and different parts of the world, you can get a 4 different seasons of growing. You just have to look and see what plant flourishes within those seasons. So that's the advantage of when you look at these smaller type gardens, such as we have here at Whirlwind Family Farm. I contend you don't just get that one season to learn something, you get 4 seasons within that year. So that's an advantage that you have over a big, large monocrop, where you basically get one shot, and if it doesn't work out, you've got to apply what you learned, and then year 2, you can start over again. Here, where we have an advantage in the small gardening, if something doesn't work out, you got plenty of time to try something else. And there's so many different vegetables and fruits that you can try and work through those seasons. Early spring, summer, fall, and even some of the zones, and even if you raise a little bit on a back porch, you can get 4 seasons. And what that does, each year that you do that, you're getting 4 different chances to try something different and plant something different. So it's something I had to learn, and I first came into this thinking I get 1 shot a year to get this correct, and if I don't get it right, the whole thing is just a complete waste. And it was totally not true, because in this garden setting, lots of different things I have ochre over here, I have Swiss chard in these high tunnels, I have carrots that are inside and outside, and there's chances for me to kind of experiment and see which setting works the best. So I hope that you'll take that idea and apply it to your garden and think, I just don't have 1 growing season, I have 4 growing seasons. Even if I live in zone 4 in Canada or further north, I'm up in that very cold area, there may be a chance within an enclosed setting where you can raise some things and you have temperature control. Doesn't have to be a big area at all. And of course, as you get further south, it opens up that window of time when there's less amount of frost on the ground. So all this being said, blessings over you, your garden, your efforts. And we hope that you get something. Each time that we post, we try to give you some knowledge that's going to help you a little bit further along with your garden. So we hope that you always, if you're getting something out of this, if it means something, hope that you will like, subscribe, and certainly hit the bell for notifications, because we want to bring you good value content each week. So thanks again. Blessings over you, your family, your crops, your garden. Talk to you soon from Whirlwind Family Farm.